Canvas blueprints in the dust, back room roaring, broken teeth and rust, chain link press, swing and miss, call it pain, I call it this. Step in, step down, hear that floor shake now, hands up, heads low, something's coming round. Welcome to the wreck. Welcome to the wreck. We came for the wreck. We came for the wreck. Hit me hard.
Hey everybody, welcome to episode 1 of the Retro Wrestling Review ECW podcast. I'm Gene Jackson along with my co-host, your new favorite podcaster himself, Mr. Brandon Wheeler. Brandon, what's going on, man?
How's it going, Gene? Happy to be here.
It's going good. We got a lot of good feedback on the episode 0, the pilot show, if you will. Did you hear anything out of anybody that came your way?
Yeah, man. A lot of people, sent me messages, congratulating me on the show and everything, and made remarks about how good it was. Obviously, how good of a job you did. I didn't do a whole lot of talking that first episode, but I had a good time, and I was a little stiff, and hopefully I'll be able to loosen up a little bit this episode,
Oh yeah, and you'll actually have a show to watch here in a little bit to talk about. Last time it was just all notes.
Yeah.
Brian Trammell messaged me right after he watched it and said, "We need more Brandon on the show." I was like, "All right, we're working on it." Like, there's gonna be a lot more Brandon.
Hopefully that'll be a good thing.
Yeah, we don't want one message going, "Hey, less Brandon on the show."
Yeah.
No, that definitely won't be a thing. So, this is actually picking up with the first episode of TV, which original air date on this television show was April 6th, 1993, taped on March 12th, 1993 at the Cabrini College Field House in Radnor, Pennsylvania. Our commentary team is going to be Jay Sulli, Stevie Wonderful, and the surprise addition of Mr. Terry Funk. Of course, this is going to be the first show where Eddie Gilbert has taken over as the booker. But before we move past that, just to give people some context here, April 6th, 1993, how old are you on April 6th?
93, I would have been 11. I would have been a month shy of 12.
All right, so almost 12-year-old Brandon, I'm sure, would have had a lot different viewpoint watching this back then. So there may be times that we'll get your opinion on something and go, now, what do you think 11-year-old Brandon would have said? It'll probably be way out in left field. So, 93, man.
I would have known who Eddie Gilbert was. I would have known who Terry Funk was. So I think I would have been. I'd have been all right.
You, much like the announcers here and myself, probably couldn't have picked out which Super Destroyer was which, right?
Correct.
A lot of people gave them a lot of shit over that. Once you see these guys here in a minute, folks, I think you'll understand.
Right.
It'd be hard for anybody to pick these two out, other than one of them is way taller than the other. But, there's that. I don't know. It's weird to me to think, when I think back on the 1993 season of USWA that I did with Richard and Josh, and then to think this was going on at the same time, they almost feel like they occurred in two different universes almost. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They feel very, very different. So
it feels like completely different times. I mean,
yeah,
it
absolutely does.
Definitely a different world.
So, we had the pilot episode that we didn't watch here, but we discussed it. So the guy that we didn't really get into much on the initial pilot episode, there was a guy named Matt Radico, who really helped them along on this. He helped produce that first, the pilot episode. and he was friends with a guy named Sam Schroeder, who was a big wheel at SportsChannel Philadelphia. And so Matt kind of greased the wheels and helped push this thing through and get it a deal with SportsChannel. If Matt Radico isn't involved with ECW, I don't know if it gets on SportsChannel Philadelphia.
Gotcha.
But he was, and so here we are. Here's the thing. I don't know that we talked about this either, but like, this isn't a lucrative TV deal for ECW. This isn't like a big money rights deal or anything. This is, here's an hour of airtime weekly, and you've got a couple of ad spots that you can sell, and that's what you'll make money on. And so they're not charging them for the airtime. So it wasn't like where a lot of shows had to pay to put their show on, like paid programming, like those advertisements you'd see at 2 a.m. for the, Ginzu knives or whatever,
right.
You name it. But they were having to go and sell their own ads. And so that's why the copy of the video that we're watching actually has the original ads in them. And so these guys, they were still figuring out how to try to promote wrestling and do a wrestling
much less
show.
make any money.
Yeah, they're not ad executives, so they don't know how to really go out and sell these commercials. So you'll see a lot of advertisement for Carver W. Reed Jewelry Store, which is Todd Gordon's jewelry store that we talked about / pawn shop that we discussed in the first episode. He did get a deal with like a local pizza chain there that did a lot of advertising with them. I guess their most lucrative ad that they got an ad for Solo Flex, which was a workout machine of the day.
Yep.
And
I had one of those in my house growing up.
Oh, really?
For real? Well, I swear.
A few people did. I don't remember what the costs were, but they were pretty expensive.
Yeah. Oh
One
yeah.
of those 5 easy payments of $99.99 or some such. And so I think their deal was, Joe Lanza talked about it on Jovember to Remember, was I think every Solo Flex that got sold during the hour that they were on television each week in that area, they made like $5 on.
That's cool.
And this was on at like 1 a.m. or whatever. So
yeah,
I can't imagine.
Yeah, but I mean, you got to, in that time, you have to think about how many people were shopping like that. I mean, like my grandparents, for example, I remember them buying. I mean, my granddad would buy everything on TV, it's the most ridiculous stuff. I mean, it was constantly something,
Could be. I don't know. Like when I was watching this episode and I had that thought in the back of my head, I'm like, all right, 1 o'clock in the morning, if I'm seeing Stevie Wonderful on my screen, I'm watching the Super Destroyers against the Hell Riders, am I like, man, I got to get in some shape. Like, let me order one of these fucking Solo Flexes right here. But that could go both ways. That could have, really motivated. Like, you could have seen those guys and been like, whew.
I mean, just wrestling fans in general, that's kind of a bad advertisement.
Yeah. I mean, they see that pizza commercial,
demo.
Like, damn, wonder what time they close. And
right.
Players,
Exactly.
Solo Flex. They're going to the kitchen to get a beer.
What was do you remember the name of the pizzeria? It was something ridiculous like Balleria or something pizzeria.
Yeah, we'll see it here in a minute because I don't remember off the top of my head, but we'll be seeing a lot of it in the next several weeks. So if we can't remember it right now, it will be burned into our brains.
Correct.
Very soon. So what we're going to do is we're going to watch this episode here in just a moment. We talked a bit about what people have called the Cabrini College curse. This show has been referred to as being SNAKEBIT. That's why this first episode, the episode title is SNAKEBIT, because just so many. I mean, they go and they book this on a college campus. You figure, well, if nothing else, maybe they'll be able to go out here and wrangle up a bunch of college kids to pack this field house. Well, no, because number one, it's spring break. So all the college kids are gone. Nobody's on campus. Next, you have this huge, huge, major snowstorm. Todd Gordon in his book said over 35 inches of snow got dumped on Cabrini College in this general area at this time. So the fact the wrestlers were even able to get there is a minor miracle and really shows you how excited they were at this prospect and how much they believed in it, just to fight your way to get to this building. You know, including guys like Terry Funk. So then they get there, they go out and they wrangle up just whoever they can off the street, and they pack them into the hard camera side of this building so it looks like somebody's there. And Matt Radico, wanting this thing to look good for Sports Channel, has helped them go and rent this big fancy damn lighting rig that's going to light this place up and make it look good for TV. Every time they go to cut on this lighting rig before the taping starts, they blow a breaker, completely wipe the power out, and then got to go and reset everything. So they were starting about an hour and a half late just because of that situation. Wow. So finally they said, fuck it. All right, we're just going to have to use the lights in this little field house here. And they go ahead and they get the show started. And, you know, just the building itself was a step up from the bar shows they had been doing. You know, it looked better than that, but it didn't look as good as they had hoped with the lighting being such as it was. But hey, we're going to have a show, right? Because I'm sure at one point people are like, fuck this. We have fought our way here in the snow and this show's not even going to happen. Like, what the fuck are we doing?
Yeah, it'd be rough.
Absolutely.
Philly crowd. I can see that going bad real quick.
Yeah, even if it's only 20 of them, they could get they can get pretty salty pretty quick. The announce team here, we talked about this in the pilot that you know, Jay Sulli had just kind of been plucked from the dressing room. He was there hanging out. He was a fan of Tri-States. He ended up being a friend of Todd Gordon's and a friend of Stevie Wonderful, Steve Truitt, if you will, who is doing the music for the company. And he just got thrust into the commentary and did a good job. Yeah. But now I've had the chance since we recorded that initial episode, I had a chance to interview Bay Ragney, aka Chubby Dudley. That dropped on Thursday of this past week. And he gave some insight, but he had also did a bunch of interviews like a year or so ago with a bunch of these guys. And so I was able to listen to an interview with Jay Sulli. I was able to listen to another interview. It was like fucking 6 hours or something crazy. It was like, you know, damn near most people's whole work shift was an interview with Stevie Wonderful. But man, there was a lot of great stuff in there. And both of these guys talked about how, you know, they both just got thrown into this. There wasn't really like any real instruction of like, hey, promote this, talk about this, but don't talk about that. This is the direction we're going. We want to try to build everything towards this. It was just, here's a microphone and there's going to be a match in that ring. Call what you
make it happen. Yeah.
And that's crazy. That's what they did. So with that information, you know, as harsh as some people could be watching this for the first time or watching it back then, when you have that information in your head going through watching it, you're like, damn. Yeah. They weren't bad to just be thrown to the wolves here and just really just calling what they see, you know. So I wanted to go ahead and mention that before we get started, just so folks can kind of have that context. And you won't, you know, we'll be talking over a lot of the commentary, but, you know, we'll make sure you hear the promos and we'll cut the commentary up every now and again because Terry Funk on commentary. Like when I talked to Bay, who was easy rider of the Hell Riders here against the Super Destroyer, and he's just getting in the business. He's like, you know, 19, 20 years old, and, you know, this is his first handful of matches. I'm like, dude, what's it like for you? You're on this TV taping for this brand new promotion's first show on Sports Channel Philadelphia, which you had, you know, been around watching, and you're in the ring, and Terry Funk is calling your match. You know, he's out there doing commentary on your match. He's like, dude, it was awesome, but it was also, you know, it's scary as hell because, you know, it's Terry Funk. Yeah. So let's go ahead and watch the episode. We'll talk about it as we watch it. And then on the backside of it, we'll fill in a few more blanks if we need to. So here we go, folks. This is officially starts our journey through every episode of ECW Wrestling right here on the podcast. Albalomo, Nikolai Volkov.
They were really bringing out all the stops on this intro.
Yes.
Every character that ever came through.
Making sure we get a good view of the big names that came through.
Greetings, wrestling fans, to a packed Cabrini College Fieldhouse in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, for the inaugural edition of Eastern Championship Wrestling on Sports Channel. My name is Jay Sulli. I'll be bringing you all the play-by-play.
Jay Sulli reminds me of Guy Smiley on Sesame Street when I was a kid.
ECW, Mr. Stevie Wonderful.
And isn't it wonderful, Warren? Here live and in living color, ECW first week on Sports Channel Philadelphia. Batten down the hatches. Here we come. We got a lot of things happening tonight, Jay Sulli.
But before we get started with any of the action tonight, it's my pleasure to first introduce the president of the ECW, Mr. Todd Gordon.
Steve, pleasure to be here. Jay, it's a pleasure to be here with both of you and Stevie Wonderful.
Todd Gordon, president of the ECW.
I'm a weird, nitpicky dude about stuff like this.
Holding in your hands,
That belt
ECW
always bothered me that it had no
television
side plates,
heavyweight
just the one
wrestling
Yeah,
center
champion.
plate.
I got
That's
you.
what it's all about, and it's starting tonight right here
Yeah, it
on
does look
Sports
odd.
Channel. We have a
Yeah.
tournament taking place right here, ECW style, the way only ECW wrestlers can do it.
From what I understand, some of the top stars.
Stevie's got
in
not one
professional
set, but
wrestling
two
are
sets of
here and in that
handcuffs.
tournament.
That is
No, he
correct,
means
and I have a
business.
special announcement just for you and just for you.
Right.
Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to add
I feel like Burt Prentice would have had a lot of
respect.
respect for
That's
that.
right.
if he
Man.
saw that.
Very, very
a good idea, honey.
Going to be joining you at ringside. One of the greatest wrestlers of all time, the living legend himself. That's right. The
I
living
really got to get a
legend
duster
himself.
that says "Wonderful" on the back of it. Man.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much, Mr.
Eddie
Gordon.
Gilbert here's
It's
living
a
legend. He
melee,
comes
but-
running down.
Mr. Gilbert, now I know you better than anybody knows you. That's right. And I'm not going to put up with your shenanigans. I want you to look at the monitor right now and see who it
You may
is that's going to
notice-
be our new third man in the booth right here. Look at that monitor.
This episode is spliced together out of a number of different
That's
versions.
not gonna
So the
Gotcha.
quality goes from like top-notch WWE Network quality to
Does that hurt?
like VHS quality. So here's a clip of Terry Funk on the show Quantum Leap. I remember watching this back in the 80s when it came out.
Tried to warn you.
Warn me. You're trying to kill me. I'm gonna die. Sam, in here.
I never saw this, but I remember seeing Terry on what was it, Over the Top as a kid, and just thinking that was
Yes.
the coolest thing ever. Man, he was so cool in that movie.
Roadhouse.
Yeah.
Big Robohead is letting himself in.
All right.
Sam, come on. You want to stay down there? You want to get out? Come on up.
Oh, Carl, can't you do anything right?
And now, ladies and gentlemen, the real third man in the booth, Mr. Terry Funk. Terry Funk! Terry Funk, wait a minute! Wait a minute! Wait a minute! Terry Funk! You can't get Terry Funk! Terry Funk!
I got my peach-colored shirt on.
No! You and all these stinking people here want to call him a legend! Well, legends to me are old men!
Hey, Gilbert, I want to say something, and what I want to say is this, that when you run with my old gang, you got to be tough. And if you want to get tough, you can get into the wrestling ring with me, but then how would that look if this old man here kicked your butt?
Oh, yeah? Oh, yeah?
Oh, yeah. You know, I want to say to you people here and you people out home there that it's a pleasure being here, because each and every one of you in this area have got a place in my heart, because it is the HC portion of the United States is where the Eastern Championship Wrestling is originated. And what I mean by HC, it's the hardcore fans.
So this is pretty significant. So in the first couple of minutes of the show, Terry Funk's already brought the word hardcore to the forefront. He's already managed to get cross with Eddie Gilbert before we get the show going. And, of course, that's going to be our first big angle of ECW. And, wow, what a way to kick it off with Terry Funk and Eddie Gilbert.
A lot of these guys
Absolutely.
will give you their heart and their soul right in that wrestling ring.
Terry, it's a pleasure to have a great living legend like Mr. Terry Funk joining us in the ECW.
And I right now would like to start the announcing by saying we'll be back with ECW Wrestling right after this break. Yeah.
Trattoria Pizzeria.
Trattoria.
Whether you come in for dinner or lunch, eat in or carry out.
Classic music in the background there.
There's delicious seafood dishes, veal, chicken, salads, pasta, and of course, pizza. Trattoria Pizzeria is celebrating their second anniversary, May the 3rd through the 6th. To help celebrate, every pizza or pasta dish is half price.
Holy
Visit
shit.
Trattoria Pizzeria in the Fairfield Place Shopping Center in Exton. Eastern Championship Wrestling is brought to you by Carver W. Reed, corner of 10th and Sampson Streets, sellers of fine diamonds and gold jewelry since 1860, and your Quality Plus Ford dealers, where you'll find 5 of the 10 best-selling vehicles. See your local Quality Plus Ford dealer today.
First, I would like to introduce the challengers. A combined weight of 576 pounds. Please welcome.
Oh, God bless. I was fixing there ain't no way in hell. Oh, it was them they're talking about. There ain't no way in hell they're 500-something pounds together. Maybe 6.5.
Exactly. Now here comes
They're some pretty big boys.
the Super Destroyers out to the Halloween theme from Michael Myers movies, and which is odd, but then again, the Samoans came out to that in WCW in '89, so it had already been kind of established as a wrestling theme, I guess. There's Hat Guy, and from the very start, we talked about him some last week.
Yep.
You'll have your characters in the audience throughout most of the run of ECW as well, which is fun. And there's their manager, Hunter Q. Robbins III, or as Terry Funk will refer to him later, Hunter Q. Robbins the Turd.
About to introduce to you Poetry in Motion, the ECW World Heavyweight Tag Team Champions, the 2 meanest sociopaths who ever stepped
One guy's got his belt on upside down.
Super Destroyers.
Don't know if that was a intentional choice or just worked out that way.
Fans with our first big matchup in the ECW.
I can't see fucking shit out of this thing.
Super Destroyers, the ECW Tag Team Champions, meeting the Hell Riders, EZ and HD.
Well, you got the Super Destroyers who are the ECW Tag Team Champions.
All
What do you
right.
think HD stands for, Gene?
Hard Dick Rider? Well, I don't know. That might be another Burt Prentice gimmick we're talking there, but no, we don't have fancy banners made yet. If you look back there on the wall, we have a
That's what I'm
handmade.
That's what I'm put up behind myself.
Yeah, it'd be a perfect tribute. Now, if they pay attention, one of the Super Ds has a red string around, or red, not string, but a red thing around his arm, which kind of identifies him, and he's substantially taller than the other one. But there he is. Stevie's asking him right now.
Absolutely incorrect at this point in time, but if you were to say that was Super Destroyer number 1, you would now be correct.
So you're saying Super D number 1's in the ring now, and Super D's outside the ring?
Isn't that what I said, Terry Funk?
That's exactly what you said. That is exactly what you said.
So in that interview with Stevie, and I think even Jay Sulli as well, they asked, like, hey, was that just like a running gag? And Sully's like, no, we had no idea which one was supposed to be which, and we just kind of had fun with it, you know.
That's awesome.
Certainly nobody told them beforehand, and they didn't even know which Hell Rider was which between HD and EZ. So they're just kind of doing like we're doing right now. They're just watching it,
winging it,
calling what they see. That referee there, Jim Molyneux, would be around ECW for pretty much the entire run, all the way into the 97, 98, and beyond. And then, of course, the ring announcer, Bob Artis, he helped form ECW. He's there for most of it. But, you know, that's it. I mean, I wouldn't think that there was a snowstorm and nobody could get there the way they've got everybody packed into that one side. It doesn't look terrible on television. Now, certain angles, you start to see, oh, well, all right, there's nobody over there. But
right. I mean, we, you know, as a kid watching a lot of territory wrestling, and I mean, it's not, it doesn't look anything out of place from anywhere else, you know.
No, and I really didn't pay it. Well, like as a kid, I didn't even pay attention to shit like that. Really,
no, not at all. You know, over the last couple of years, been listening to the shows and stuff and caught up on a lot more territory wrestling and, you know, even the commentary. I mean, it's about as good as anybody's was. I mean, none of this is terrible. It gets a really bad rap, but
nobody's as good as Corey Macklin in there, but
that's
trying.
Right.
Nice suplex. Or high vertical suplex, as Gordon Sulli would say. So, as we talked about in the last show, Super Destroyers won those tag team titles in a tournament. You saw a power bomb, and I watched this. What a maneuver right there. And Super Destroyer 1 or 2, we're not sure which, got the pin.
That looks like it. I'm going to try to get over here with Hunter Q. Robbins and do a little interview with him.
Let's check out Terry Funk's interview with Hunter Q. Robbins here in a moment.
We're going to send it on up the ringside here, folks, with Terry Funk with an interview with the winners of this match, the ECW Tag Champs, the Super Destroyers.
All right.
The turd, is that right?
That's third, Terry Funk. Hunter Q. Robbins the third. And while we're at it, let's establish something. You are looking at the representative of the Eastern Championship Wrestling World Heavyweight Champions. And when you are in the presence of greatness, you will show respect. So from here on, you will address me as Mr. Hunter Q. Robbins III, with the accent being on Mr.
Mr. Hunter Q. Robbins the Turd. Now we are going to take it away and have a video with the Sandman, and I've had enough of you. I've had enough of this moron right here.
All right, so we've got a highlight video of the Sandman from the USWA in the time period that we're actually covering right now in 91. He's about to turn up on the 91 USWA show we're doing. And Billy Joel in the background. That's
wow.
Interesting choice.
Ooh, Lawler.
Yeah.
I guess that was Memphis footage.
Yeah, this is all Memphis footage right here. As Joe Lanza pointed out, somebody had said, you know, I wonder how they got, if they were able to get permission from Memphis to, like, come on, they didn't get permission. This is probably straight out of Todd Gordon's tape collection or something. They just ran it. I mean, Memphis, number one, Memphis wouldn't have any way of knowing they used it. Number two, why would they give a shit? Yeah, run our TV up there. But, yeah, I was talking to Tony Myers recently, and he was telling me that there was basically like a whole carload of guys going from Philadelphia down to Memphis at this time. And you had the Sandman, JT Smith's going to be in there with a mask on as like the Black Cat.
Yeah.
I think this Gravedigger guy that's going to show up on this week's episode was part of that. The Spirit of America guy that's just turned up on USWA is a part of that. So
gotcha.
That's fun to think that you got all these guys cramming into a car coming from Philadelphia to Memphis, which is a pretty good haul.
Yeah, man.
It's just so weird for the Sandman to, you know, the Sandman we all, you know, remember from the heyday of ECW. The fact that he used to do this surfer gimmick and this get-up is just wild.
Yeah. The idea of his promo playing Billy Joel in the background, too.
Yeah.
Kind of comical.
Yeah. Long way from Metallica.
Yes, sir.
So in the later years of like, when you get into like 96, 97, when you go back and watch that ECW, who was one of your favorite wrestlers of that era? Was it Sandman or Dreamer, Sabu, any of those guys?
I was a big Sabu fan. Obviously, I was a RVD fan.
Yeah.
Sabu was probably my favorite ECW wrestler.
Welcome to the wreck. We came for the wreck. We came for the wreck. Hit me hard.
Hey everybody, I'm Gene Jackson, and I want to introduce you to the Retro Wrestling Archive Podcast Network and the great pro wrestling nostalgia podcast we bring, including the Retro Wrestling Review Series covering the USWA, Memphis Power Pro Wrestling, Continental Championship Wrestling, and we've just added World Class Championship Wrestling, and now ECW. Plus great interview shows like Beyond Wrestling with Rob Hell, where the stories go beyond the ring. Then there's Dangerous Conversations with the legendary Dangerous Doug Gilbert and Tommy Wildfire Rich. Plus don't miss special live streams like Live from the Archive and Arc of an Angle. And the Retro Wrestling Archive Network is growing. We're proud to feature the affiliate shows like STS Pod, The Hang, Classic Pro Wrestling Talk, Get Your Bell Rung, and even more great shows are coming soon. That's not all. Join the Retro Wrestling Archive Patreon for exclusive bonus content, early podcast releases, special extras, and access to a Google Drive that is absolutely busting at the seams with territory wrestling history, including our legendary Memphis Mega Folder. Podcast, interviews, watch-alongs, live streams, YouTube, Patreon, territory wrestling history. It's all waiting for you at RetroWrestlingArchive.club, where we're preserving pro wrestling history daily. Don't just remember it, relive it.
Original, yeah. I would say probably Sabu.
That's fair. Most people was a big fan of Sabu. I was a big fan of Sabu until I met Sabu, and then
I hear that a lot, man. I've heard multiple people say that. That's usually the way that it goes, though, man. Most of my heroes have been letdowns. Except for Tommy, man. He's so much fun. That was my favorite, was Tommy Rich.
Yeah, he's a good dude. I know when Joe Lanza was going over this bracket on the Jovember to Remember, he was deeply offended that they didn't use the same bracketing as you would in the March Madness. I'm not a basketball guy, so I have no idea how any of that worked. But he was explaining how the seeds facing off was just completely screwed up. So I don't know. That was lost on me. But someone else watching this with us right now may be thinking the same thing.
Yeah.
It's just amusing to me that Glenn Osborne was just arbitrarily stripped of the title because they wanted to do a tournament, and then they put him in here, and he's in the tournament. He's number 3 seed in the tournament.
Right.
And spoiler, he does pretty well in the tournament. Johnny Hotbody, what a name.
Man. Every time I hear that, it cracks me up. Like, what the fuck?
Our counterparts over on the World Class podcast made
the Cream Team.
Yeah, the Cream Team themselves made a bit of fun of us, saying we spent 45 minutes talking about Johnny Hotbody, which is not true. We only spent probably a grand total of about 16 minutes. But look at this guy here. We got Wildman Sal Balomo, led by the Cosmic Commander, who clearly is inspired by the Grand Wizard. Are you familiar at all with the Grand Wizard from back in the day in the WWE?
Not realistically, no. I mean, I've seen video footage. I know exactly who he is, but no, I'm not familiar with any of his story or anything.
I mean, you watch that first match. Oh my God, he about
did.
And then you see these two, like, this feels like older than 1993.
Yeah.
This feels like some early 80s stuff so far. So we're not. It's kind of funny that ECW become known as the Revolution, where here it's the throwback to me.
Yeah, zero innovation.
But by all accounts, this Cosmic Commander was a really cool guy from the people I've talked to. He was like big on the punk rock scene. He was a tattoo artist.
That's pretty awesome.
And he kind of he'll only be around for just a few episodes, and from what I was told, he kind of took himself out of the equation because he could make more money running his tattoo shop and being in punk bands and promoting concerts than he could being a manager on ECW and getting about $30 a night or whatever.
Right.
All right. You see a clear change in the footage here as they had to edit the intro back in. See what he's got to say here. Tommy Cairo.
I wish you the best of luck. Thank you very much, Terry. Sports Channel and ECW. That's a winning tag team combination. And the Iron Man is here. When he comes to town, sooner or later, baby, everybody else goes down.
Yeah! I like that kind of attitude.
Tommy Cairo.
Now, what kind of self-respecting madman lets a guy lean over the top rope and cut a promo and you don't attack him from behind?
Right.
Television title tournament. It is a first-round match. First, I would like to introduce the manager, the Cosmic Commander.
Bet you the Grand Wizard wouldn't have fucked that up.
Certainly would have. I tell you what. Now, we haven't shown it yet on some of the podcasts, but you have an incredible Jimmy Garvin cosplay. When we get to Halloween this year, you got to rock the Cosmic Commander.
Oh, it's on.
That's
I told Rob he better be careful. It might show up tomorrow night.
Hell yeah. If I can get me a Wild Man Sal Balomo outfit together and you can be the Cosmic Commander, man, we'll be winning a prize at some Halloween party. All right, peace.
I'm so excited about this TV tournament. Sorry, I jumped the gun there, guys.
Tommy Cairo, the number 4 seed in the TV title tournament.
So Tommy Cairo's an impressive-looking guy. Like we talked about last week, Sal Balomo had been a job guy in WWF, but did not in any way resemble this man you see in the ring right now. I'll have to find a picture of Sal Balomo in his WWF days, and we'll put a side-by-side of the ECW Sal Balomo and the WWF version of Sal Balomo and see the huge difference. Quite a mullet going on the referee here.
Man. I think I took a chick home from the bar one night that was wearing that same outfit he's wearing. That's rough.
So Tommy Cairo, we've pointed out, is undefeated up to this point in ECW. Wow, top wrist lock. For a while, man, this guy does a lot of just straight up technical wrestling.
Wrestling, yeah.
And he's accusing him of pulling his hair. I mean, when I think of Wild Man, and especially like ECW, I would have thought he'd just come in and just mauling him. But he starts out fighting fair, but now he's starting to get a little more. This is starting to look more like the Wild Man I would expect, right? He's biting him.
Yeah.
Maybe the Cosmic Commander had not turned him loose up to this point.
That ref's mullet really is great. How do you think you go into like a barber to ask for that? Like what approach do you think, I mean, give me the Joe Piscopo, pal.
Yeah, I was gonna say years later it'd be give me the Kenny Powers, but this is pre Kenny Powers. So Joe Piscopo might be the way to go on that. But he definitely put the VO5 hot oil to it.
Man,
and,
this was 93, so this would have been like late for a mullet like that too.
Yeah, he's hanging on to it. He's like 5 years earlier, he would have been the coolest guy in the room.
Yeah.
And now, even by then, these fans are like, geez, that guy still got a mullet. Should we tell him? Like, nah, somebody will. So this stage of ECW, we're going to be building towards Eddie Gilbert and Terry Funk, and the TV title tournament here is going to be the focus of our first couple episodes. It is so weird seeing this. Somebody did a heck of a job with the editing on this because I mean, you can tell the difference in the quality of the picture, but there's no jump like in the edit. Like it's a smooth transition. You just notice it goes from like high definition to VHS quality and then back again. But somebody spent some time on this.
Yeah.
See what
the cigar smells great, doesn't it, guys?
Sal Balboa with had a rear chin lock on Tommy Cairo. Back to a rake in the eyes. That's got a sting. Another one.
Oh, nice headbutt. Big boot to the stomach. Big driving forearms. Tommy turned him around. He's on top of him, throwing those rights right now. Climbing up that rope. There he goes.
Cairo was not supposed to be on the ropes, Terry Funk.
Stevie Wonderful like feels like he could have played Diamond Dallas Page's little brother or something. Like they should have been relatives on some show.
I finished the Super Clash watch along like right before we started recording, and yeah, absolutely. I mean, they had the same haircut, maybe just a little different color, but yeah, absolutely.
I think I saw the tights right then. I'm pretty sure I saw what's going on in the ring, okay?
What did you think of Super Clash? Had you watched it before?
Man, I had as a kid. I haven't rewatched. When I say a kid, I was probably a teenager when I watched it last. I thought it was a lot better than I remembered. All right, I thought as a child it was a lot better than actually what I meant. It was a rough watch.
Definitely. Kind of like how I showed you UWF Beach Brawl. That's how you kind of see how serious somebody is. They come at you and go, "Hey, I want to do this." Like, all right, do you? We're going to watch Super Clash 88, and then we'll see how you feel.
Yeah.
Had an alliance with either one of these wrestlers. He seems to be motioning to Sal Balboa.
Wes made it through. He did a good job. I think we got to figure out some of his microphone problems, but we'll get there. Johnny Hotbody.
Sal Balboa right out of the ring, and he's down.
So he was coming out to try to take out Tommy Cairo. He'd been feuding with Johnny Hotbody. Had been feuding with Tommy Cairo up to now, but he missed. He laid out Sal Balboa.
Referee Joe Sulli making the count. He's got a 10 count to get back in the ring, fans. He's up to 7. Will Sal be able to make it back in time? There it is, fans. Unbelievable. Sal Balboa counted out of the ring. Tommy Cairo.
Tommy Cairo got that match and won it right there.
And he remains undefeated in Eastern Championship Wrestling. Here comes Johnny Hotbody.
Oh, no.
Hotbody from behind.
Went throat first into the top rope.
Hotbody's going up onto the top rope. It looks that way to me. He's fixing to come off on Cairo. Oh,
missed the big elbow drop.
I remember reading about these guys in magazines all the time back in this era and previous to this, in the Tri-States era. And Johnny Hotbody was a guy who was almost like a Mick Foley of that time. He was always taking these crazy bumps and dropping elbows off of, out of the stands and just crazy shit. So
right. Yeah, this was my first experience with
Eastern Championship Wrestling.
most of these guys, actually.
Carver W. Reed, your Quality Plus 4 dealers, Trattoria Pizzeria in Exton, and Solo Flex.
There it is.
Tell them you saw them on Eastern Championship Wrestling.
And we'll get $5. So this is Hitman Tony Stetson. Based on that music and the gear, and like, you think he's a big Bret Hart fan, or is this just coincidental? And here is the Rockin' Rebel. Did we tell the story of the Rockin' Rebel in the first episode in the pilot? We hadn't got to that yet.
I don't. Not that I remember. No.
We won't bust that out in the first episode, but we'll get there.
Challenge match, 1 fall, 20-minute time limit. First, I'd like to introduce.
There's another guy hanging on to the mullet.
Yeah, man. I went to school with a guy that in the late 90s had that haircut. It was rough.
Wow.
Like, what the fuck are you thinking? Head shaved on top, not completely shaved, but like the, about an inch and a half long shave where it all looks like a helmet, and then just straight long, midway down the back, it just gets long. It's crazy.
I mean, it's starting to look like that's the official hairdo of Eastern Championship Wrestling. I mean, we got both these guys. We had Easy Rider kind of had a bit of a mullet going on, and
there's more mullets than there's not.
That's right.
Jay Sulli
Save some for the rest of us, buddy. Man.
It's a singles match, but you got Tony Stetson in there, who is one half of the #1 contenders for the tag team.
I mean, if we don't end up with a loser gets his mullet cut match at some point,
absolutely,
this was a missed opportunity by Eddie Gilbert.
This shit would never fly in Memphis, I tell you.
No. Shit. Of course, the way Memphis has been in 91 and 93 we've watched, it would go straight to, like, the way Jeff Gaylord went straight to a paddle on a pole match with Principal Secret Bertram. This first TV match, if it was booked in Memphis, would be the first match. All right, loser gets his mullet cut.
Yeah.
Oh.
No problem tossing the rock.
Tossed him right into the corner.
So far, Stevie. That's 2 nice arm drags.
Well, I think Rebel's just still
Oh, kicked him in the ass.
Just felt Tony Stetson's boot on his butt.
Kind of like a smaller Bob Cook over there.
Yeah, I
Back
can
in the
definitely
day.
see that.
Instead of John with a referee like you.
And we talked about on last week's show, Tony the Hitman Stetson had gotten some pretty significant wins over the Russian Bear Ivan Koloff in that first year of ECW.
Absolutely.
Well, as I said, we have one half of the #1 tag team contenders, Tony Stetson with his partner.
So he's got some confidence, and you have to have high water style tights like he's wearing. He's rocking the Bret Hart tights, but yet they're up, from just below his kneecaps.
Well, I got to tell you, Jay Sulli, that is one tag team match I'm looking forward to. But let's just watch this match right here.
I don't know if that was intentionally the style or he just bought a pair of tights from a guy who was a lot shorter than him. That's how they fit.
They've been friends, they've been foes. Once again, they find themselves on opposite sides of the ring, and it's not a friendly confrontation.
Still continuing to work on that left arm of the Rebel.
He needs to pick one spot, wear it down, because if you compare the two
Oh.
bodies,
Imagine going to a fucking gym in the middle of nowhere in Philly and fucking seeing Terry Funk. That's just crazy, man. It's crazy.
Yeah.
I couldn't imagine seeing Terry. I saw plenty of people come from Memphis to here, but I saw Shawn Michaels here in Jonesboro in the USWA days, but I don't know. Terry Funk was always almost like a god. I couldn't imagine just walking into him. Fucking high school gym.
And he's out there doing commentary with
Yeah. Like, what?
he brought his blazer and everything. I mean, he's doing it,
Yeah, he was prepared.
I would expect him to be out there in like his Funk You t-shirt or whatever and some jeans, but no, he's got on his peach colored shirt. He's got his gray blazer on. He looks like he's ready to teach a class and substitute teacher. He's not the main teacher, but he'll drop in there when he's needed,
Yeah. They obviously shift gears a little bit later.
Yeah. Man, I don't know. Rockin' Rebel's hairdo is bothering me the most of anyone we've seen so far.
Like it's bad. Like, how the fuck? I mean, dude must have a sack on him to even have the balls to have a haircut like that. Like, I mean, what the fuck?
Yeah, I mean, because the other guys, like, it's just kind of outdated, but like his is just white trash.
Right.
That is like you're going to see him out at Talladega out there in the infield,
ECW heavyweight championship, Terry,
and ready to fight if you got something to say about Dale Earnhardt. Well, fuck you say about Dale? Oh, what a maneuver.
Be careful, Gene. You're going to get more hate mail.
I hope so.
Well, you might be talking to a loser instead of a winner because
look at that. Almost like the sling blade of modern day with a little punch to the top of the head thrown in there for good measure. That's fun.
Terry Funk, you're absolutely wrong
Whoa, okay, not exactly Bobby Eaton, but he landed it.
Top rope by Tony Stetson there, fans. That was incredible.
I don't know if it was incredible, but all right.
Looks like the Rebels
I realize we're reaching here. We haven't had a lot of
counted 2.
big moves so far. Corey Macklin would not got. That would have been the first time Corey Macklin would have got to holler, "Big move, big move." Hitman Tony Stetson on the top rope. Oh shit! I know where this is going. Oh, you piece of shit! That hairdo. We should have known with that hairdo. That's the kind of win he was going to be going for. You piece of shit.
All right, wrestling fans, that was a great victory.
All right, let's hear what this asshole has to say.
Number 1 contender for the ECW Heavyweight Championship, the Rockin' Rebel.
Champion.
Rebel, what do you have to say for yourself after that fine victory over him? You should feel
This is what happens when one of those kids with silver teeth grows up.
Let's get down to some serious business.
Oh, he went in holster mode there for a minute.
I don't see you in the building, baby. I'm here. I ain't too hard to find. I'm giving you a fair warning. I'm the greatest wrestler in ECW. I'm the number 1 contender. I'm going to take your title, end your career, baby, because the number 1 wrestler doesn't wear a belt, but soon will be. Woo!
Oh my God, he's all over the place. He starts it out like the Hulkster. He drops more babies than Jimmy Hart, and then he ends with a Ric Flair woo. Man, pick one, dude.
Man, I vividly remember this commercial. Wow.
Yes.
That's crazy, man.
Looks like, feels like. Any questions?
RCA Home Theater Products at Bryn Mawr Stereo, where we sell Goosebumps.
I've never liked the trunks with no knee pads look. We got another mullet in the ring here.
Yeah, I guess I was wrong, man. I guess this was the perfect time. Apparently,
I guess
in Philly, this shit was on.
3 was peak.
The crowd doesn't have a mullet. I mean, like,
I think it just shows us how behind the times the wrestlers were. Okay,
yeah, maybe.
Just grab Jay Sulli. I'm sure he's nervous right now.
Yeah, by the looks of it, Philly was waiting for a revolution.
Yeah, they desperately needed it.
There's only one thing that I just like to mention to these people here. It's a great pleasure for me to be here tonight, including the TV and being here at this college. There's one thing I like to say first, that I just signed a contract, number 1. And number 2 is I like you to meet somebody that you people are going to love very much.
This chick has walked out there with everybody.
He's very special, and here he is.
Hot stuff, Eddie Gilbert. Hot stuff, Eddie Gilbert. Are you the new manager of Jimmy Superfly Snuka? Are you going to be managing Jimmy Snuka?
Don't ever call me a manager. I want the history books to remember this now. Hot Stuff International is alive and well in 1993, and Jimmy Superfly Snuka is the first acquisition, and he will be the next ECW television champion.
Hot Stuff International? Eddie Gilbert, Jimmy Snuka? Let's throw it back to Stevie and Terry at ringside.
Well, Terry, there he is again, an old friend of yours.
Well, I'll tell you one thing I definitely respect.
So have you noticed that chick has like been following everybody out the ring like 2 steps behind them, like she's their valet or something? But then she just stands there, and then she takes their jackets and shit back to the ring. But like she stood there behind Snuka in the promo, like she was part of the thing. But I had noticed that she walked out with a Super Destroyer. She walked out behind Belomo, and this is Larry Winters here. Like I said, man, this no knee pads look along with that hairdo, it's rough, man. Snuka's still in really great shape at this point.
He's in good shape, but last week we talked about how old he was at this point. Do you remember?
I don't. I think 50 something. I don't remember.
Okay,
We looked it up. But I don't remember. But he ain't hit 60 yet. He's in his 50s here. But,
gotcha. Yeah, he's still jacked. Absolutely.
Yeah, he still could. He still could do some damage if he pitched you across the hotel room.
What does Eddie Gilbert need to get involved with it?
Already interjected himself into this match, fans. Larry Winters, choking Larry Winters.
You remember it was Larry Winters who booked that first ECW show and immediately lost that booking position with the white paint angle involving JT Smith.
This some bitch looks like the kind of guy that would do something like that, don't he?
He kind of does. He really. Yeah, I mean, anybody that looks in the mirror with that look, with just the trunks and nothing over his knees, and thinks that's a good look, like, yeah, this is going to get over. This is prime baby face look right here. He's got the curliest mullet we've got so far. I mean, Rockin' Rebels was curly, but he had that distinct shaved head look but his is all one big. He's almost got some Jimmy Garvin curls going on there. Not enough to be a free bird, but.
Looking right in my eyeballs in a wrestling ring, and it's not any fun to look at. Gilbert's over here trying to mouth off and distract the referee to give Snuka an advantage.
So, we talked about how Jimmy Snuka spent most of that first year as babyface, and now he had turned heel right after he lost the title, and he's in full heel mode here. We've got Eddie Gilbert as his manager, choking people in the ropes. All right, Winters is firing back on him here.
Couple big right hands, couple boots to the set. Oh!
Now, 11-year-old Brandon, if he's here, are you going to be a Larry Winters fan? Is this?
No, it's not happening. It's not happening.
Is this a popcorn break, perhaps? If you're not really into Snuka, bathroom break here.
This is the clothesline. Larry Winters, big flying cross body block.
God, this guy looks terrible.
2 count there. Nice drop kick by Larry.
One of the worst looking drop kicks I've ever seen.
He's no Brad Armstrong.
I mean, he looks like he's just completely blown up at this point.
Has to be. I mean,
yeah.
Oh,
what a leg drop,
brother.
He's got another cover on Jimmy Snuka. Eddie Gilbert back up on the ring apron, looking to distract the referee. Winters whips Snuka across the ring.
Oh, look at Snuka taking some bumps here.
Yeah.
Right hand knocks Eddie Gilbert outside the ring.
All right, Larry Winters is making a fiery comeback here. Uh-oh.
Eddie Gilbert trips up Larry Winters.
Oh, no. He got tripped.
That was totally uncalled for.
Larry Winters had a good thing going.
Oh, here it goes. Looks like we're going to see it. This is what even if he's a bad guy, this is what the folks came to see here in the field house in the snowstorm. He's going all the way to the other side, Brandon. I think the Superfly still got this kind of.
That's a pretty good distance there.
Okay, let's see what happens.
Lord.
Man, that's a bold choice. Holy shit, look at
God
that.
bless.
Nailed it. Look at them people on their feet back there. Hey, love him or hate him, heel or babyface. If I'm in that arena and I see Jimmy Superfly Snuka sail that far across the ring, splash the mullet off of Larry Winters, I'm pretty hyped. Eddie certainly is. Look at him.
He is, absolutely. For you guys that don't know, Gene wrote a great book about that man.
I helped.
I had mine signed over the weekend. Pretty proud of that.
Yeah, it does my heart good every time I sign one of those, man. I'm proud to have my name on that.
Hell yeah, man. That's awesome. So cool.
Today, a man came into the bank for a $500 loan. $500. Banks don't make loans that small. It's just
$500.
I told him
$500. You wanted to buy a championship belt. I said, hey, man, $500 will buy you a belt, but it ain't going to get you any side plates. And Todd Gordon said, that's fine. We just need the main plate. And they used that damn ugly belt all the way. Like, I remember in like 96, Shane Douglas was still rocking that belt with no side plates.
Yeah, I guess I never noticed that, man.
Yeah, I'm weird.
Not that I watched ECW at that point, but I have went back and watched a lot of the documentaries and stuff over the years.
And we're going to try real hard for you people out there. But give us some time and we'll get better. And so will the crowds. And I'll tell you what, I don't know if the wrestlers
Terry Funk's out here apologizing. The show's not even over with yet. No, don't worry, folks. We're going to get better. We're trying.
Wait.
Sounds like me talking about my first podcast.
Brandon, they read your mind. They knew that you and me and everyone else was sitting there going, man, you know what? This has been a pretty good show so far, but I could go for another Sal Balomo match. Well, here it is, man. Wish is granted. Now, this is our first squash match we've had so
That's
far.
what we needed to see after all that. We need to see somebody get the fucking shit beat out of them.
Exactly. This ain't 90s TV if we didn't get somebody getting jobbed out here. There we go. We had a 47-second gap in the timeline here that we needed to fill, and we just did it.
What a surprise matchup. Sal Balomo taking the ECW by storm here.
Yes, he is taking the ECW by storm. These guys killed me. Todd Gordon especially calling this the ECW.
Next week we're going to have a super show here for ECW because we've got the semifinals and the finals of the tournament. Is that right or not?
Now, next week we're going to finish the quarterfinals. The week after that, you'll see the semis and finals. But big surprise, the world champion, the Sandman, here live right next week.
Well, I'm going to be looking for him, and I know that you people tune back in next week and get a load of this show because it's new, it's different, and it's fresh, and we're looking forward to seeing you again. So, adios, partners.
Thank you, Terry.
We interrupt this telecast of Eastern Championship Wrestling. Thanks for tuning into our premiere edition of Eastern Championship Wrestling. We want to hear from you, the fans of ECW. If there is a certain matchup you would like to see here on Eastern Championship Wrestling, send your cards or letters with your questions or comments to Dream Match, care of ECW 185 West Lancaster Avenue, lower level, Paoli, Pennsylvania 19301. Also next week, fans, don't forget you will be seeing round one continue of the TV title tournament with the number 5 seed Johnny Hotbody.
See, I don't even have to send mine in because there's my dream match right there. Glenn Osborne and Johnny Hotbody. It's already signed.
J.T. Smith will take on the number 2 seed Hot Stuff Eddie Gilbert. 2 great matchups here for you fans next week. And also next week, the first appearance of the Eastern Championship Wrestling champion, the Sandman, live right here, fans, next week for you. And the return of the king of the Texas Death Match, Terry Funk, will be back here with us live on ECW. Let's take another look at the living legend and movie star, Terry Funk.
Movie star.
No telling what's out there these days.
I love that all their footage was such garbage that they keep having to use USWA shit to show their world champion, the Sandman. Like in that still frame, you see the microphone says USWA on it.
Yeah.
All done. You're going to take it easy now, aren't you, Herman?
Oh, I can't thank you enough.
All right. This is such a weird way to advertise your Texas Death Champion here. Here he is.
Match, petting a duck.
Here he is petting a duck. But don't let that fool you. He's a tough customer.
That gives me something to look forward to. Come on. I'll walk you out.
I don't even know what this is, but we're going to see a big chunk of it, apparently.
Get the location out of that man. What do you think I'm doing? Brody, that's not how we planned it. I'm supposed to be the bad guy. You're supposed to be the good guy. Did he spit on my boots? Did he spit on my boots?
I know. I'm sure they did not have permission to use any of this TV film. I mean, Quantum Leap was an NBC show at the time. I'm sure that the
Nobody gave a shit what was happening in Philly at midnight on Saturday night or whatever night this was
exactly same way they managed to use all that licensed music forever, and nobody really knew. I mean, you talk about like 95, 96, we're using White Zombie in the intro and Enter Sandman. And,
well, you think about that, and just a couple of years later, you know, you wouldn't be able to do that with all the lawsuits and stuff flying around. You know, I mean, everything was
out
in the open. But at that time, I mean, it was just a perfect storm of timing that they were able to get by with doing that, and you know, it made it just different enough.
Yep. All right. Executive producer Todd Gordon.
But after watching this shit, you can definitely tell why people wanted that revolution and wanted that more modern look and sound. You know, people were tired. I mean, the shit was played out.
Yeah, it's pretty funny to watch. Like when you watch this as the first episode, and especially if you were just to turn it on without any context, like you didn't listen to us talk for an hour and a half about all the reasons behind it all. You know, you're like, man, how did this spin off into the ECW we all, you know and remember that, you know, did revolution. I mean, because, you know, the whole Monday Night War era, the whole Attitude era, you know, I don't care what anybody says. Russo can deny it. Everybody can, you know, say that they came up with it. It was all of them trying to do what they saw working for ECW at the time.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. I mean, it doesn't take anything to go back and watch and see that. I mean, it's obvious.
Yeah. I mean, some of the angles were just verbatim that they were ripping off, you know, that Heyman had did. But when you look at this and you're like, man, this show full of mullet-headed dudes clotheslining each other turns into something that revolutionizes the business. But it does. We're going to get there, and we're going to watch it every step of the way. And like I said, you know, if you just turn this on with no context, you're like, man, boy, this announcement's kind of rough. But then when you find out, like, no, man, they were just thrown out there and they're just calling what they see. They don't really have any insight to where any of this is going, or what we want to focus on, what we want to try to draw attention away from. And that's going to be one of the strong suits of Paul Heyman once he comes in and he starts taking over. Where he really shines is taking guys, finding their strong suit and putting a spotlight on it and downplaying their weaknesses. Oh, 911's this huge guy that's good at choke slamming people. Well, guess what? We're going to send him in the ring and he's just going to choke slam the shit out of everybody. You're not going to see him have a 20-minute match because he can't. And I know that. So he's not going to.
Right.
And, you know, you take Ted Petty that had been in the business at that point for 20 years under 1,000 gimmicks and pair him up with Johnny Grunge, and you make them public enemy, and look at, they became huge stars in EPW. Listen to me, ECW, and it didn't work anywhere else. They went to the WWF and you know, shit the bed there. They went to WCW and they had moderate success there, breaking tables, but they didn't get over anywhere else like they did in ECW because all their flaws were hidden and they accentuated all the positives. And you can go down the line of the roster like that. And it was why Heyman was able to make stars out of guys who didn't get over other places. He was able to get guys over well past their prime that no longer could in other places. And so many people tried to, I mean, WCW, I said that about 911. He was only choke slamming people. WCW hires him, names him Tombstone, and just throws him out there on Nitro in regular ass matches. And they all sucked a dick and they were terrible. And he was gone within just, you know, if not weeks, months. I don't even know that he made it months. And you've seen that play itself out several times over, you know. But right now, you know, Eddie Gilbert has come in. If you listen to the interview with Bay Ragney, if you haven't, it's a bonus episode. I highly recommend it. He has a lot of content.
It was a great episode.
Tri-States folks will be real interested in what all he had to say in the first half of the show about the one and done. But if you're not interested in that, you can skip to the ECW talk. But, he talked about how, Eddie came in and he's, there was people that just had to go. And even though he didn't like it at the time, he says in that interview that down the line, he was able to look back and go, oh yeah, we had no business being on that first television show. We weren't ready.
Right.
He was just breaking into wrestling. And there were a lot of guys on that show. Well, I don't say a lot of guys, but there were quite a few guys on the show we just watched that probably wasn't putting your best foot forward, having them in your first ever television show, but that's who they had. And I think they did the most with it that they could.
Yeah. Chicken shit to chicken salad. That's what we're seeing.
Yeah. And, so, it's not the greatest, but it's not as bad as some people make it out to be.
No, not at all. They're working with what they had.
And we will see, the next couple of shows are still from the same TV taping. When we get into the next taping, you start seeing more new faces. You start seeing some people disappear and other people show up. And it's just going to continue to evolve. And so that's going to be fun for us to watch and track it here, man. We do this at the end of the USWA shows and the Power Pro shows and all that. And we probably won't have like a regimented thing here each week.
I'm going to have to prepare for this. So.
But just off what we just watched, what would you say your favorite thing about the show was?
Probably Terry Funk. I don't know. I mean, from a comical standpoint, I'm still a big Stevie Wonderful fan. Terry Funk being there. I mean, I like seeing Eddie Gilbert as well, but I don't know. I've not settled on him yet in ECW. It was kind of cheesy. I know he's playing a heel, obviously, but
yeah.
Curious to see where that goes. It was good to see Terry. That was probably my favorite part. It's a pretty cheesy show, man. It's slim pickings. So I don't know. Maybe Snuka flying across the ring. That was the best, best wrestling moment for me.
For sure.
The high point was Terry. So
yeah, because I feel like, and this was probably the logic behind locking Terry Funk in here was, if I'm a fan at that time, especially if I'm a HC fan, as Terry Funk says, I'm going to give this promotion a lot of leeway just to watch Terry Funk. Like, hey, Terry Funk's here. If Terry Funk's here, you never know what the hell could happen.
Right. It almost gets like a godlike reverence to it. Terry Funk does after being in ECW in 1993. How big of a deal was it to have Terry Funk? I mean, I know you read all the magazines and all that, and probably had a good idea of what the world was like at that point. 11-year-old me, I knew who Terry Funk was, but 11-year-old me wouldn't have had the same high spot. I probably would have picked the show apart, to be honest with you. I don't know. Anyway,
this was after his big Flair run in '89. And a lot of people thought he had kind of left the business again to pursue this acting that we really made a point to feature on this show, I guess, to make him feel like a bigger deal to the people who didn't necessarily know the legend of Terry Funk in wrestling.
Yeah.
But the wrestling fans that Tri-States was aimed at, the smart fans, the tape traders, the people reading the dirt sheets, and ECW is going to try to play on those people too. I think they're going to have the attitude that I would have had if I had it. Well, in 93, I'm young enough that if wrestling is on and I can see it, I'm going to watch it. I've said this before. Like, I was a big enough a fan. There was no good wrestling or bad wrestling. It's just wrestling's on. I'm watching it. That's just that's it. But if I was a little older or a little wiser than that, my theory would have been, well, if Terry Funk thinks this promotion is worth his time to be here, then it's probably worth my time to watch it. I'm going to give it a chance. Plus, I was a huge Eddie Gilbert fan, so if Eddie Gilbert's there, I'm going to be watching it as well.
So you were a huge Eddie Gilbert fan at this point. Going on. Yeah,
see, I became a fan in Memphis and Continental.
I got you. It's hard for me to, put my mind into that or understand that way because, a lot of these guys I didn't catch till way later. I missed out on so much Memphis, man. That's why. The USWA show was such a big deal for me. I caught bits and pieces of it, but I never followed it. And I really wish I would have when I had the opportunity. You know, I never got to go to the Mid-South Coliseum. I saw a few shows at Earl Bell here in Jonesboro, but I never went and saw wrestling in the Mid-South Coliseum. And I really, really regret that now as an adult, you know.
Yeah, I got to go to a few Mid-South Coliseum shows, and that was really cool. I do hate that I never got to be like at the studio to see at least one show. Would have been really cool. But, you know,
I didn't have any family that was into wrestling, like I told you before. I didn't have any wrestling friends really or anything. So that, you know, kind of kept me distance to it. But I was a fan, you know, I just wasn't a hardcore fan. An HC fan is
you wasn't an HC fan.
Not at this point.
Nor
Later.
were you
That
an
would come
HC
later.
rider, which based on what we said, HC, I hate to say what that stands for, but
That's right.
Kind of the same thing, just a different word. So I don't know. I had fun with this. I think we're going to have fun watching this continue to evolve and grow. There's going to be controversies as we go along, as you know, Paul Lee gets his hooks into the promotion. You know, he comes in just as he's just Eddie Gilbert's friend who's going to manage and help Eddie book. And, well, he becomes a lot more than that before it's all said and done. And Eddie is out and Paul is in, and boy, things really will start to take off pretty swiftly later in the year. So that's about, you know, I think we've pretty well covered everything. Like I said, I don't want these shows to be terribly long. So I don't want people to look at the runtime and be like, fuck, I don't have that.
Sorry if there's any banging on my end. My cat is determined to end up on the show, to crash the show. She's killed my camera once tonight, and it's awful.
That's quite all right. You know, we're cat friendly over here.
I'm sure you wouldn't know anything about that.
Yeah, I have to keep Smokey and Roxy both shut out of here completely. They'll do the same thing. Yeah, so I know all about the excitement that the cats can bring in the background. So it's all good, man. So join us here next week for episode number 2, and we're just going to keep rolling right along. And I guess I will say, I asked you your favorite thing. I have to ask, what was your least, like, if there was one thing like from this episode you're like, if I never see them again, it'll be too fucking soon, who would you say that?
Man, I can't even remember the guy's name now with the helmet mullet. We shit on him the whole time.
Rockin' Rebel.
Rockin' Rebel, yes. I went completely blank. That would be my, you could leave him off the show. I could do without that guy.
Once we talk about what he did in real life and everything, yeah, you'll really want him off. You'll want him off this
I got
earth, which he takes care of that himself. But we'll talk about that later. There's plenty of time to get into that. Yeah, I mean, the longer we wait to talk about that, it makes it a little easier to talk about, because once that's out there, it makes it kind of hard to watch his matches.
We'll let that get
harder. So we'll wait a few episodes before we drop that bomb on everybody. And most people, if they're big time fans, they probably already know that anyway. But, if you know, you know, and if you don't, well, you will soon enough. So that's going to be it for this week. Thanks, Brandon. Appreciate you going along on this ride with me. And
happy to be here. Love it, Gene. Thank you.
Thank you. And thank you all for watching another episode of the Retro Wrestling Review ECW podcast.
Got a stack of VHS tapes, dusty old newsletters, testing men in tiny capes, playing old video games. His basement a shrine